Good evening and welcome to February 11th, 2016 Planning Board meeting. Good evening. Welcome to the meeting. Thank you. We have a very full agenda, like minutes and stuff. Let's do minutes first.
Would you like to announce the date and the organization?
I did, but people were talking and couldn't hear me. But I did announce the date and the purpose of the meeting. Yes, I did. I said welcome and everything.
I heard it.
I heard the welcome.
I heard the welcome too, but not the rest.
I think we were busy talking.
I think you were too.
Which minutes?
December 17th.
December?
December.
No.
December, I don't have it. Okay, now I have it.
I even got them with me, Tina. All three of them.
Great.
Over here?
January's and December.
That's two.
2 meetings in January. That's 3.
Oh, I didn't bring.
Ah, you don't have the other one. I already read it.
I don't think I have, for some reason they got by me.
I've got January 21st.
That's the one I've got.
You don't have January.
That's the last meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only issues I saw with that was the spelling of Lufkin Road.
Yeah, I realized that afterwards.
I remember reading this
I
a
thought
long
there
time.
was
We had
one
this a
additional
long time,
on
right?
that.
Yes.
Yeah. I
I
remember
got
reading
an
it
extra.
months ago.
I got an E in there.
Yes.
You get Oh, Neil wasn't. I was here on December 17th. Correct, I was not here for that.
There's a text.
I know one thing, all the signing stuff makes much difference. Water over the
That's
dams.
kind of what I thought too. I didn't really read the sign stuff, to be honest with you. December 7th, under other business,
7th or 17th?
17th, sorry. I appointed John a voting member. Craig said William Bover would like to continue his.
Ooh, that's a big typo.
Then Craig motioned to continue to this, and then Frank moved it and John seconded it. I don't really know who motioned what, but
Well, you motioned for something.
I would think, typically I would not motion, and Frank would have I would have said something like I would like to motion.
I would like to move.
And I would think Chuck actually made the motion. Anyway, second line, I would just add site plan application, period. I don't know how to change the second sentence around. You can take Frank moved it out of there. I made the motion, John seconded it, passed. Did you make the did you do anything?
I think I read I think you started to say something, and I think Frank just said so moved or something like that. I can take
Whatever.
that,
Just take Frank moved out.
though. Okay.
At least it reads right that way. Second line, second page, second line. John said he concern. How about John said his concern was the old growth trees? If that's okay with John.
Works for me.
Last sentence, same line where it said Chip said he thinks it's 18 foot. Can we add clearance with 2 foot shoulders? Instead of 18 comma 2 foot comma and 2 foot? Everything?
18 foot clearance and 2 foot what?
Shoulders. And like Chuck said, I really didn't pay attention to the rest of it because it's all signed stuff and it's been changed several times by now and I'm not going to worry about it. I don't know what we said in December 17th about the signs, to be honest with you.
It's changed so much.
Yes. That's all I had.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of 12/17/2015 as amended.
Second.
You actually mean approved, but okay. Approved.
I don't know what I said.
I didn't make you a voting member yet. John's a voting member.
There he is.
Then he made the motion.
Yes, then I made a motion.
Sorry about that. Discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Right, no,
Abstain.
Abstain.
Abstain. You always say you can vote on these minutes even if you weren't here.
Absolutely, but
Okay.
I'm going to abstain this time.
January 7th. Does anybody have these?
Mhm.
No.
Mailed on the 16th. Oh, and other documents. Are we just reviewing the minutes or reviewing the additional attachments, the Article 34 and zoning amendments?
I'm just doing the minutes.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into the zoning amendments again. We can't go there.
Well, thankfully, this is all signs again.
Yes.
The reason why it may be important, is that if there is some dispute in the future about what something means, assuming everything passes in March, and we proceed forward, and there's some question about what was the intention, or what did we really mean by this, going back to the minutes,
Yep.
You can say,
might help us. Might.
So you wanna wait till next meeting?
No, I'm just saying that I understand Craig's point. You have the actual document, so the minutes in a sense aren't gonna change what the voters have, but,
Maple Wall, second paragraph, it started, Craig said Danielle. Third
Craig
line,
said, didn't you?
creating a subject lot as a bona fide gift, is that correct?
What page are you on?
Yeah, could
First
be.
page still. Under item number 2, the first full paragraph.
I would take creating, how about the subject lot?
Okay,
Because that's when the lot was created.
okay.
Good catch.
I was thinking subject was the wrong word, but,
No, the subject lot is the, whatever the number was.
okay.
Same paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots, 5 lines down, 5 lots. The line starts subdivided lot, and all 3 of those lots access the same driveway easement. I would insert the word lots.
Where am I inserting that?
After those, before access.
I'm taking out subject in front of lots, right, just before that? Two lines up?
No, take out A, replace with the. Last sentence, hence mitigation measures may need to be modified to avoid negative on the existing road.
Negative what?
impact,
I don't know. Oh, that could be.
negative impact on the road?
I just underlined negative and put question mark, because I read that about 5 times trying to figure out what that said.
Impact works.
Yeah, it works for me.
Next page, second bullet point. If necessary, small earthen berms may be built to prevent runoff from the eroding.
By built.
Is it built? Okay.
Yes. The last paragraph before signed ordinance. 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down. The as-built conditions, it should be as-built also.
You on page 2?
Yes. You see what I mean?
You want to do a 34-1 or 34?
No, not.
No,
above that.
no, above that.
So just,
Before we start talking about the sign.
okay.
This paragraph starts out, Bruce made a motion.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 6 lines down. The as-built driveway should be as-built driveway location.
Yep.
That's what I had.
Just for clarification, the very last page, other business, Craig said he received an email saying this is in the protective district. I don't know what protective district means.
Where are we?
Second line. Under other business.
Aquifer Protection District.
Oh, okay. Should that be specified?
Yes.
Oh, I missed that.
Protection rather than protective.
No, the aquifer part.
Yes, you missed the aquifer part, but anything else?
Not yet.
Move we accept the minutes of January 7th, 2016 as amended.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. January 21st. You have these?
I got those.
Okay.
The spelling of Lufkin Road.
How is that spelled?
Luftkin.
T?
Yep, there's a T in there.
There is?
Yep,
L-U-F-T.
K-I-N.
You sure of that?
Yeah.
100%.
Where's that?
I know, because it
Okay.
screws me up every time I see it. It's like, that doesn't look right.
No, and nobody
Me
pronounces
too.
it that way.
No,
Okay.
it shows up a couple of times in here.
Saw something before that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th line down. Starting in from the left. Repainting it. It must be detailing it rather than decaling.
Decaling.
That's correct, decaling?
Yeah.
That's what he
Yeah,
said,
that's-
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Nowhere in this conversation for Joshua Dunn do we mention what he's planning until we get way down in the middle of the thing. Which kind of didn't confuse me because I knew what was going on. I just thought in the beginning I'd put a comma after Concord Stage Road and say workout gym or something like that so we know what he's proposing.
Fitness center.
Okay, fitness center.
I thought that came up.
That's where I get paid.
Oh, yes. The thoughts like that.
Thank you, Chip. It was worth it. About 2/3 of the way down that first paragraph, the line starts out, I'm not going to count them, it starts out Route 77. Route 77 parking lot, period. Mr. Dunn, the next sentence is what I'm talking about. Mr. Dunn said it used to be loam and said it would be excavated and crushed gravel would be added.
Referring to the back lot.
Which still loam, isn't it?
I don't know what's back there now.
It's all brush.
Is it? Oh, okay. I haven't seen the backside of it.
I didn't quite understand that sentence.
I guess if the loam was removed. It
Yeah,
used
he
to be
was
loam.
talking about removing the loam.
That's what I thought. 'Cause I
He's gonna
thought,
remove the loam.
I thought, yeah, okay. Why don't we say Mr. Dunn said he would remove the loam instead of it used to be loam. That makes more sense. On to page 2. Neil moved to accept the application rather than ask the application as complete.
I didn't catch that one.
About halfway down, there's 2 lines in a row that start out Mr. Dahlberg. If you see where I am.
No, I don't have that one with me, remember? I'm typing it in here, just saying it.
Yeah, wanna give her these?
I have a copy of that.
I only had a couple of things.
I got that one.
You got that one? Yeah, give me that.
I don't know what that is.
I had figured out what it was, but
Tina,
Yeah.
under 3 bolded,
I guess I didn't figure it out.
first line is Frank, second line is isn't.
Uh-huh.
Neil said the only things that seems, it should be singular, seem. And then you got Neil moved to accept, not ask the application.
Yeah, that's the one that,
Okay.
So anyway, about halfway down that long paragraph, Mr. Dahlberg starts out 2 lines in a row. The second Mr. Dahlberg line, Mr. Dahlberg said he doesn't believe he repairs one with,
Yeah, that word messed me up. Is that a word?
No,
Good.
I spelled it wrong.
no, it's probably spelled correctly if it were a word, but it,
Decrepitable? I mean,
what word do we want to put in there?
Give me a minute, I can think of the word that was supposed to be in there.
it was he was referring to garbage.
yeah.
Yes.
To disposable, or not to,
No.
decomposable waste?
No, that wasn't the word. You spelled that right.
Because Mr. Dahlberg stated that that his client was gonna be using cardboard compact, and nothing was gonna be food related. That's what he stated.
Yeah,
Decrepitable, I can't.
Why don't we just say food waste? Food, liquid?
Food works for me.
Unsuitable material.
No.
that's probably in there twice.
Decomposable?
That's kind of what I was thinking, but.
I had no idea when I read it.
Cardboard can decompose.
Could say smelly.
But the concern was food.
Yes, it was.
Unhittable? Say it long.
Let's make it food.
All right, works for me.
Okay, how about food type waste?
Okay. Food type.
hyphen type waste.
Decomposable, no?
No, that wasn't the
It
word.
wasn't, okay.
That word I would have been able to spell.
I wish Bruce was here for the next question I have.
Uh-oh.
5 lines further down. The line starts out the dumpsters.
Uh-huh.
Bruce said when the hydraulics, I assume that's our shot,
Our shot.
and the reason the hydraulics are shot is it leaked and is full of stuff behind the ram and something has to be done with it. Wow, that's a long sentence. Something has to be done with it, or it is just going to sit on site and wash into awkward. Okay. I guess that makes sense with 2 R's in there.
Did he say full of stuff behind the ram?
Yeah, apparently the ram can't
Yeah.
return
Yeah.
to where it's supposed to, so the hoses leak. And we
Well-
need the pressure.
I don't know if stuff was the actual term he used.
But is he referring to the hydraulic fluid?
No, he's,
No.
Return-
no,
Refuse.
he's,
Refuse.
yes.
That's the word, I think that
You got
Refuse waste.
refuse and decrepit.
no, that wouldn't, that couldn't have been. No, that wasn't the word though.
No, because stuff does get behind the
Oh, yeah.
pusher plate on compactors.
No, I wish I could remember the word you used.
Stuff
You can,
is
you
fine,
can
I
always
guess.
go back to the YouTube video and figure it out.
Well, I have it on tape too.
Okay.
Anyway, that sentence should say are instead of is twice.
When the hydraulics are shot, the
Yeah.
reason the hydraulics are shot is not it, is they leak or
Where are we at again?
no,
Yeah,
still in the
Bruce
middle.
said
well,
when the
middle.
hydraulics-
Bruce said when the hydraulics are shot, and the reason the hydraulics
Our shot.
are shot is they leaked,
Yes.
and the dumpster is full of
Container.
stuff, or the container, thank you, is full of stuff behind the ram, and something has to be done with it, or it is just going to sit on site and wash into the aquifer. Because we've got a lot of stuff. Mr. Dahlberg said he was
Yes.
told that the stuff that gets back there is paper.
Stuff is a good word.
I would call it refuge.
Refuse?
Yeah, refuge.
Generic enough term, yeah.
But we called it stuff.
You just want to be technical, is that?
I wasn't even here for this meeting, but I know exactly what this company does, so.
That's all I had in page 2.
Page 3, first line, middle, refuge, should be refuse.
Which page you on?
Page 3,
First line?
first line, fluids including hydraulic fluid,
That's third line of mine, but okay.
I'm
Yeah.
using the email version.
Yes, that refuge should be refuse, yes.
Where are you?
Third line down, fourth word from the end, fifth word from the end, or sixth word from the end.
Do I hear 7?
2/3 of the way.
The G needs to be an S.
Third paragraph, third line. Same thing. G needs to be an S.
Is refuge a word?
It is.
It is.
Yes, like a wildlife refuge.
Oh, okay, thank you. I couldn't think of a term.
I guess I just put a whole wildlife down there.
That's what I had.
The paragraph
Nope.
where it says Neil moved, there are many changes that need to be made there.
No, really, geez.
After Craig closed the public hearing.
Mhm.
Neil moved the application be approved with note 10 eliminated. Delete the word be. And replaced, add a D at the end of replace. Replaced with, insert the word a note, saying there are no wetlands on the property. And after the comma, insert the word with note 11, and after the word 11, after the number 11, insert the word reflecting. The spelling correction, and insert the word with, and with a new note, and the quote is correct, except that instead of refuge, it needs to be refuse. Delete the word from. Let's see.
Where's from?
New note that any fluids, including hydraulic fluid, that should read, quote, that any fluids, insert a comma, including hydraulic fluid or refuse on or brought on the site shall be contained, etc. And then on the next line, Craig added the driveway the driveway sealant should be removed so that it doesn't conflict with the other wording.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said don't. The only question I have is if the applicant was here, we read that note. I think at the time I said from. The plan may say from on it. We'll make them go back to change the note if the note says from instead of on or brought on.
It's fine, I guess.
Do you like to see the plan?
Will you have the plan? Yes, I'd like to see the plan. If the note's adequate, we'll change it next year.
Here are the minutes.
Oh, thank you.
So you can review the plan with them.
Thank you.
Going back up to that first paragraph on that same page, I have it, last sentence, Craig said that note 11, insert a space between 11 and specific.
And the word specific should have quotes around it. You see, Craig said on note 11 specific.
Mm-hmm.
There's a space between 11 and specific that's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in addition to that, the word specific, because Craig is referring to it as a word, needs to have quotes around it.
Okay, good timing. There's a note on the plan, says any fluids, comma, including hydraulic fluid and fluid from refuse shall be disposed off-site in a timely manner by the owner or operator of the facility.
Shall be, read that again?
Any fluids, comma, including hydraulic fluid and fluid from refuse shall be disposed of off-site in a timely manner by the owner or operator of this facility.
The only thing he's missing is contained. Other than that, it sounds right.
Yeah, I remember contain being part of it, so it didn't get, so we didn't get any runoff.
No, he doesn't talk about refuse.
Yeah, he says fluid from refuse.
So it should be fluid or refuse. Maybe we should have a refuge in town where we could put all of this refuse.
We have one
Good point.
at the end of Merrill Road.
On the left, on the hill.
Yeah,
There's a refuge there?
sure.
We have another one over on Colby Road.
Yeah, that's right. And
That's right,
out
yeah.
of one. at the
Smaller,
main one,
but yeah.
Is it marked?
Yeah,
You're pulling my chain?
which sign? Transfer station.
That's refuse, not refuge.
You asked for a refuge for the refuse, that would be the transfer
Yeah.
station.
Well, we got the refuse there, but we
Technically,
don't have a
landfill
refuge.
behind it, 'cause it's covered.
True.
And then we have a firing
So did
range
he
there.
fail?
Yeah, he failed.
In the works.
Would you like to put a note on the back of this as to what he needs to do, or shall I just send him the minutes when?
Oh, you did? So,
So Tina, could you read what you have under new note, the quoted part?
That any fluids,
Comma.
including hydraulic fluid, what you just changed it to?
Any fluids, comma,
For any fluids, including hydraulic fluid or refuse,
with an S,
yeah, with an S, not refuge.
right?
From, you just changed it to on or brought on.
It's fine to leave it from.
Okay,
From the site shall
from the
be,
site shall be contained and properly disposed of off-site in a timely manner.
good.
Article 341034,
Where are you now? Next
next
page.
page, sorry.
1034.
Call him tomorrow.
1034, the board talked about how this could be interrupted in two different ways. I think it's supposed to be interpreted.
Where are you?
341034.
And what number note is this?
Yeah,
Probably could be interrupted in a variety of
it could be.
Yes, it could, but I think it's supposed to be interpreted.
Right.
18.
Just a hunch.
Does she want those? Does she make notes on it?
We use the word
Slime.
stuff a lot in this last
We
meeting.
do,
My minutes.
but I think that's
Yeah.
Tina's
You're gonna keep
favorite
them.
word.
Huh?
You're
I've
gonna
never
keep
seen
them
it
and work
before
from
until
them.
this.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
writing on it.
I like the word
So what-
stuff.
We're good.
It's generic.
There's a four-letter word that starts with C that I like a lot too, but I won't use that one much. Ends in P. by the way.
That's below
Right.
this board's
Yes,
level.
exactly. That's why I won't use it here. Anything else?
We've risen to the level of stuff.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Okay.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes of January 21st, 2016 as amended.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
You were reading it.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, boy. Okay. We have a voluntary lot merger?
No, he asked me to hold that. He may leave them as two lots. He had knee surgery yesterday and is not exactly sure what he's doing until after he talks to the bank. So that's back in the file.
Okay.
Was the result of that lot line change access to Reservoir Drive?
No. No, the two lots are side by side.
We're talking about,
You didn't get it. 'cause
You
we
don't-
had it pulled.
we don't have it here?
No,
Oh,
He
there was
asked me-
something he mentioned to
He
me.
postponed it.
okay, I was talking about Jimmy D. and Cheryl A. Pursley Jr.
No, that's
No, that's next week, and what that is, if you wanna know beforehand. Mr. Purcelli bought his house thinking that he had X amount of land. There was a shed on it, actually, the people that he bought it from.
the sheds on the wrong
There
land.
was- Yeah, and the shed is actually on the land that's owned by the people who now own the country club. So they're just taking a little sliver of land so that the guy's shed will be on his own land. And all-
Am I correct, the 48-acre lot doesn't have frontage?
On Reservoir? No.
Anywhere?
No, on,
114.
John Stark.
Yeah.
It has,
Highway.
it
Yeah.
does?
Yeah,
I didn't see that. Okay.
yeah, that's how you get into, the storage units in the country club.
I realize that, but that's a separate lot.
But that's the lot that's giving the land to the guy on Reservoir. They're butters.
Yes, there's a little bit of frontage right there.
Actually, it was the seventh fairway, if you wanna be really technical.
51 feet of frontage.
Got it. Thank you.
Now, I made 2 copies of this. Well, there are no shows.
Oh, that's that?
That's that.
Is that for tonight?
Yes, there
But-
is,
But no. Well, there are no shows.
well, yeah, well, see, here's the question. I told them that I thought they were in violation of the site plan regulations of the community of Weare, and that they needed to file something. The easiest thing for them to file was this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reality of what's on the ground down on Colby Road. I think they need a site plan. If they can, by not showing, as far as I'm concerned, I should issue them a cease and desist order to either get a site plan or take all those trailers out of there.
Does anybody have any clue he's talking about? Because I do.
And
This
that's,
is the place,
So they're already on it?
they're already on it, they've been on it for a month.
Cease and desist. We let them, there was issues with the stone wall.
Yes, which was also a violation.
Correct.
Needless to say, I was not pleased with that.
Shame
but-
on us for that.
Yep.
what did they do?
They removed the stone wall before they got the approval from the selectmen.
Did they ultimately get the approval from the selectmen?
Yes. For how many feet?
30 feet, whatever it was. I think it was 30 or 40 feet. Yeah. But it was
And here-
moved before.
And here's what's down there now.
Well, right now, it's a code enforcement issue. It's not a planning board issue.
Well,
Right.
yeah, but
Well,
said-
the argument has been presented that it's their land, they should be able to do what they want to with it. They've entered into a short-term agreement with Cold Springs.
No.
By my consideration, that is a transaction of business, and they are required to file a site plan. So I will issue a cease and desist order tomorrow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Was that fun? You feel better?
I do feel better.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I would like to have my 00 designation reinstated, but.
Yeah, can't have everything, you know?
This was something that wanted to be done tonight. I only made 2 copies. One is double-sided. Well, if I have to change them, I don't want to waste all that paper. We're tight on budgets.
What is this?
Subdivision regulations, latest updates, so that you guys, we're working on getting you guys updated and complete manuals.
Okay, and why do you need to bring that to us? Why don't you just present it to us after you've done it?
It's done.
Oh,
Well, there were questions as to what went where and who was doing what to whom, and we think that we have it correct, so this is the final. If you want it, I'll publish it.
Well, why don't you give it to Craig and let him review it? And then if he's okay
Good
with
plan.
it, publish it.
I'll second that.
Aye.
He's kind of.
I call the
already-
meeting over.
Oh, good, let's
Well, he's
go.
got two of them. You want to go over them
The only thing was done on this was the driveway regulations were added, the driveway standards were added, and the fees that we changed were added.
Correct.
That's the only difference between this and the other stuff.
Okay, well, I would just like one or
I
two
don't
of
think
you
I
to
need to
look
look
at
at-
it and say, yes, this is in fact correct.
Looks good. Can you make copies?
Yep,
Thank you.
you will have it.
That was quick.
And my other question is, Craig requested notebook versions of it,
What is a notebook?
with
3-hole
Now,
punched.
To go into the.
3 holes
To
to
stick
go
into,
into,
stick back into this.
into these. And I think all of you gentlemen do have notebooks, so I just wanna be sure
What do you
before I
mean?
punch them that somebody doesn't want the spiral binding on it.
No, I want them 3-hole punch so I can replace.
Okay.
some
Absolutely.
binder.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have any leftovers, but I've used mine enough so that I've literally broken.
I've got
Binding.
I've got a binder I can use.
Well, I've got a bunch of binders at home that I can use that probably would be better than this one, so maybe that's.
Well, you know, you have to go before the selectmen and
You get a
request
binder?
to donate something to the town.
I'm not
He's not
donating it
donating.
to the town.
He's
I'm
donating to
myself.
Right, he's donating to him. That's-
I think I've got another one downstairs.
Because this is, and this is getting pretty thick now.
So these two guys have a binder.
I'm sure that would not break my budget yet.
Yeah, it's early in the year.
It's a new year.
No, it's an old year.
Yes,
Technically,
I'm in
till
the
March, it's
process
an
of
old year.
working
Is there any
Yeah.
further
Yeah.
business to come before us, Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Everybody said they wanted, we said, or I said, we wanted to review subdivision regulations, including getting the vesting in there, getting the road standards looked at, et cetera. I was hoping we could at least go through the subdivision regulations, say which sections we want to look at, so we can have some kind of idea what scope we're talking about for
Which I
this
have two
undertaking.
copies of in case you haven't got.
I'm gonna use my old one. I'm not gonna write on either one of those yet.
No, and that's still a work in progress. On my end.
What is?
No.
Zoning.
Oh, you're right. No, I'm working on zoning. You're right, I gave you the,
And
Is it in this that we discuss the definition of substantial completion?
Yes.
This is where it needs to be moved.
Chip, it would be helpful if the new subdivision regulations either use these old red things or you produce new red ones.
I'll make you new red ones.
And the same thing if you do zoning, keep it
And I
yellow.
have yellow ones to boot. And
Why
I have
can't you use-
blue ones
wh-
for the site plan
Why can't you
regulations.
use the red one you already have?
I'm willing to do that, but I don't want, because we're all used to the red color, we ought to keep the same color, that's all.
Yeah, and my colors are slightly different, so I will reproduce all new colors, so everyone will match.
No greens. We want red, yellow, and blue.
You got it?
What's
Okay.
wrong with green?
Green is something else.
I'm sure it is.
Moving on.
Gentlemen, as we move on, I printed up the board's description back in 2007. I made copies for everybody. I know you'll love them.
But this is, I thought the purpose of
Well,
tonight's meeting was not to discuss this, but.
I don't know if we're gonna discuss it, but you'll have it when we
Okay.
do discuss it, okay? And, you want one, Chip, or you want one? Okay, now we all have them separately.
So, did you want us to go over the subdivision regs and decide which section you want to focus on?
Yes.
And then have a public hearing on those?
Yes. Well, at least try to determine how big is this whole operation gonna be? That's my first question.
I mean, is this gonna be another Article 34 kind of?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, but it's not gonna go to town vote, but yes, that's what I mean. Yes, this is gonna take,
That, yes. I haven't gone through this enough yet in my time on the board, so I guess the only thing that I'd love to see is an actual written out definition of substantial completion.
I thought we had that elsewhere, that we needed to
It's in
transfer
zoning.
here.
It's in zoning, yes, but it needs to be, I
It needs
think
to be
we,
moved from
Like
zoning.
driveway regulations, we had to put in here, same
Yeah,
thing.
okay.
I
have
think
get
we
it
need
in
to
the
talk
right
to the
place.
director about the wording.
We can
in that
change it
to
at the
make sure
same
it's
time,
Right.
but we need to get it in the right place.
I could do that. I have to call him anyway.
I assume that would go under 2.5.
In subdivision.
Yes.
Exemption?
Well, that's where we're talking about the same vesting,
Now, where, what page on here?
2 and 3.
2 and
Chuck
3.
has this in 311.2, and I'm imagining 311.1.
There was some numbers, this was,
2.5 does mention the word substantial completion.
the numbers
Yes.
are probably not correct,
Yeah.
yeah. As I recall. Because what happened, this went to a vote of the town, and there was some subsequent and previous, and it changed
Yeah,
the,
and
changed the
number-
numbers.
Yeah, the numbers
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
don't reflect the numbers in this.
And I think that was the one.
So 2.5 is a section we need to review, definitely.
Yes.
And I'd like us to review section 8.2 on page 20, roadway design standards.
That same request has also been made by the zoning board. And actually, the chairman of the zoning board has requested that we have a meeting with Bill Drescher, the chairman of the planning board, chairman of zoning, myself,
Where
and,
did we just jump to?
and the selectmen.
8.2.
8.2.
Because we're starting to get a lot of class 6 development activity and
I
private
think
road
mine are the
activity.
same as yours. What page are you
20,
Yes, I want to talk about 8.2 also.
subdivision regulations. Keep going.
And I can post these
That's
for
it.
the next
That's it?
work
Yes.
session.
Where are class 6 roads, or are you saying that the roadway design standard should be applied to class 6 roads?
Well, we need some kind of a standard for class 6 roads.
Got it.
No, we don't. Nobody builds class 6 roads.
But people are developing on class 6 roads.
That's the zoning board's problem, not the planning board's problem.
And it's the selectmen's problem because the
Okay,
select.
then it's the selectmen's
Okay,
problem.
so now.
It's
we're-
not the planning board's
we're-
problem.
We're back to, we need to have a meeting with the planning board, the town attorney, the zoning board chairman, myself, and out of a courtesy, we will invite the planning board chairman.
What if he says no? Or just blows you off again like he has before?
Well, the planning
So
board
be it.
secretary, if it's essential for somebody from the planning board to be there, would be delighted to take the chairman's place if the chairman has other obligations.
Well, then I have to go if he's gonna go.
See, it worked. It worked.
Since a precedent has been set by the police department for feeding people when they come to various meetings, we should probably feed all of the people who come to this meeting. So if you want a free lunch,
Must be,
You know-
must be a meeting open to the public, right?
Speaking of feeding people at meetings, I had a site walk in Bow about a year ago. Site walk was at 5, public hearing started at 7. Site walk's over, we all rush over to town hall, we get there at 1:45, and there's this big Subway sandwich thing all over the place for the planning board to eat. And I said, where'd that come from? He goes, it came out of our budget. I said, what budget? He goes, the planning board budget. I said, I gotta talk to some people about this.
we've got money in our budget if it's approved this year for you guys to go to school,
Okay, we won't push the food.
which if you wanna have school lunch, we could
What
do
what were
that.
the pages that you said needed to be? Neil's got this page 20, road standards. You said on page 2 and 3?
2 and 3, section 2.5 exemptions. That's where we're gonna be doing the vesting.
Page 2, 3. So why are my pages? not-
Oh, because you're in the bylaws, not in the subdivision regs yet.
Oh, I knew there was a problem here. Now it's all coming to me. Okay. Page 2 and 3.
Yes.
I already had some point.
Did we make some, I think we've already made changes, or we should have made changes on 5.1 on page 10. I have penciled notes that indicate
Wow.
we were going to delete a sentence. Sentence beginning with conceptual hearings.
I don't know if we did it or not.
I'm just saying that I just have a note for that, and on the next page, under D as in dog, about the fifth line down, applicants may request a waiver of new application fees. I have it crossed out. It says, new application fees shall not be charged when an application has been not denied or withdrawn and then resubmitted with modifications within 90 days. And then the next sentence, no portion of any application fee should be.
I got that too.
Are those changes we've already made, or those ones that we've discussed and never got around to doing formally because we didn't have a public hearing?
I don't know.
I think I had.
Add it to the list of things to talk about then.
It's 5-1
5.1.
on my list. I always listen to you, Neil. I might not agree, but I listen.
Back up, hang on. Under 3.2, believe it or not. Definitions, well, it's not definitions, words and terms defined.
Shouldn't that be where the definition of substantial completion goes? Under definitions?
No, I think it has to be under that. It's that 2.5 where he talks about vesting. Where he talks about active and substantial development.
Okay.
For some reason, I have a question mark beside a butter.
On what page?
3 or 5, definition of a
Well,
butter.
I have some notes here, CRSA 672-3, a butter definition. Page 428. That must be, I don't know which book it was.
What was the RSA?
672-3. We must have some real discussion about this at one time.
You're on page 5?
Yeah. And I had other notes on that too.
I have a question on 3.1 usage.
Yeah, I've got notes there too.
3.1 usage, D as in dog. Words
Yeah, I
not
do.
specifically defined shall have their common meaning, comma, as determined by the planning board. You have that also?
Yes.
I don't in mine.
You do?
I don't have a planning board in mine.
So 3.1 probably.
It might be just as words not specifically defined herein shall have their common meaning. Doesn't mention the planning board.
Right, and then it said, and then my notes show that we talked or added as determined by the planning board.
We need to update the definition of a butter.
So definitions?
The RSA reads word for word what we have here up until, well, I'm not gonna say word for word, I haven't checked that much. Till you get to the RSA 356-B:3, then it goes on to, the RSA says for purposes of receipt of notification by the municipality, it keeps on going on. The term of butter includes the manufactured housing park owner and the tenants who own manufactured housing which adjoins. So we need to update that.
Now, are these going to be public hearings, or are we going to update them and then have a public hearing for review?
I think we have to have a public hearing.
I've got some notes up there too.
But Craig, if you don't have anything to present at the public hearing,
I don't know.
What's the what's the point of the hearing?
True.
That was the reason for my question.
Yeah, no,
Okay. Okay.
So we probably ought to have a work session on this, and then when we know what we're sort of doing,
Which
then
I will post for the first one in March, and then we can post a public hearing for the second.
I think we're gonna be, never mind.
You're
What-
not
what-
gonna
what-
get right through this?
No. What notes do you have there, Chuck? On V? You
I
had
have
some
notes
notes?
on every page.
So do I.
You do too. Well,
about, a lot
must
more
have
than I
been at
thought I
the
did.
same meeting. Well, I underlined person, D, page 342,
That's probably a different book now.
structure.
what are you on, Frank?
Well, I'm just looking at these notes I have, and
What page?
oh, on page 5, still on page 5. Just up to 3.1.
Well, look, if there's so much stuff in here, we need to set aside a day to do this, unless you wanna do it tonight, and just go through it. But this is, I thought you had originally said, let's just get a
Yeah.
list of sections we're concerned about, and that list seems to include just about all the sections, if Frank has written notes on all of them.
Well, I didn't just pop up, this one a dream. I got them from some meeting that we had here, I was making notes.
And I-
Sure,
Yeah, because the couple Neil mentioned, I had word for word in my book.
because I got, well, his frontage again, rear regs, more restrictive, 674/24. So, apparently some of these were more restrictive than the RSA's, is what my notes indicate,
Which is legal.
which is legal. Well,
Right.
yeah,
Unless it's the other way around.
No. You can pass a more
Right. If
restrictive,
this is less restrictive, you can't.
if it's less restrictive.
There's still rules.
You can. Like I said, it's more restrictive.
I have something on page 10 written down, no timber cutting, land clearing, or excavation shall be allowed after an application has been submitted. Anybody have anything about that?
Your page number is different from mine, so what?
I'm around the section 4 and 4.2 and 5, it's just written on the side.
4.2 is flood hazard areas?
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's page 9 for me then.
I assume it'd be in the application procedure, I just have written down, no timber cutting, land clearing, or excavation shall, double negative, shall be allowed after an application has been submitted. I don't know why I wrote that down. It's a good idea, I don't know why I wrote it down.
well, you got something, you got another note there. I also have a note right there.
That's the same, Neil read that note,
Oh, okay.
under D with applications in 90 days and et cetera.
Well, we could always post it for this number of revisions and then have another posting. We don't have to do it all in one night.
Page 14, C, I don't know what's going on with that, underlined, tackle, why is it in general? Oh, it must appear on the final plat. Oh,
I wrote down as amended, DES question mark, same place.
yeah. So what are we trying to do there?
I think we're calling for an old manual.
For what?
I think this manual's outdated.
Oh, you do? Okay.
In other words, you want us to start working off the official copy
Yeah,
that Chip is going to give to us.
Page 15.
no, I know, our
Same deal
regulations are,
The WSQ.
the Corps of Engineers Wetland Delineation Manual, yabba dabba do. I think that's an old, it's not the 87 one anymore, it's an 89,
Oh, so that just needs to be updated.
yes.
Page 15, C, which you also have a question mark.
What is self-calling? The planning board of Weare requires that a form of security posted be made, quote, self-calling, end of quote.
What page?
Page 15, C.
7-1, number 2,
712C, yes. What's that mean?
I have no idea. I don't know what self-call is,
7-2,
but I
Page
think you
15.
lost me on numbers, so. And then I will have to
Right here,
after this,
see?
you can-
Oh,
this is the word self-call, now see the self-calling? That's what he's asking. And I'm not sure what,
71?
we have discussed that before.
7.1.2.c.
And looking at it, trying to read it a little bit, it almost looks like, if something happens to the improvement, if it ceases, yet the bond still needs to be paid out for some reason, it can
Oh,
still be
self-calling
accessed.
bond.
Yeah, I think that's why they would call it self-calling.
Okay.
Just had it.
I don't think I have any other notes.
Quoting from New Hampshire Municipal's website, some banks are willing to issue letters of credit that are self-calling. That is, the bank
Mhm.
obligates itself automatically to send the specified sum to the municipality on a certain date unless the bank is notified that the required improvements have been completed.
That's a good idea.
So basically, they'll send the money unless we tell them differently.
Didn't we say something about utilities have to be underground?
That was in a subdivision regulation that you had when Holly Hill went in, and subsequent to that, you stopped doing it. Because right after, Holly Hill was a cluster, and they had to be underground. And I think, didn't Brookshire, or not, yeah,
Brookshire's underground.
Brookshire's underground, at the same time Rolling Hills went above ground. And that's where we had problems with the poles and the ditches.
So, it still says underground?
No,
Where?
Oh,
it says underground or,
yeah, the underground thing was done on a case-by-case basis. And I think they were done
underground or aerial. That's
where
it.
there were cul-de-sacs,
Oh.
because they didn't wanna have a
Corruption,
fire
I
at
guess.
the, halfway down, and the fire truck couldn't get through. So they put the utilities underground.
I thought I remembered something about that, but maybe not.
Yeah, when I first started, they were just starting Holly Hill, and I thought everything was supposed to go underground, because Holly Hill was, and then they started building Rolling Hills, and they were putting those above ground. And paved the driveways in the first phase, and didn't pave the driveways in the second phase. And there seems to be no standard operating procedure.
Well, I've written down just about every section. More or less.
Okay, then let's schedule a work session and let's go through it.
The whole thing,
Yeah.
okay.
But not a hearing until we're finished with the work session.
March, whatever. Probably be March 11th, wouldn't it?
Now, that being said, should I still publish the current subdivision regulations?
Yes.
And then we alter them page by page, or shall we wait until we review all this stuff and I only print them once?
I think we
We need copies.
a copy,
Okay,
so that all of us are working off the same thing with the new driveway
we will have
regulations.
it for the next work
Okay, and
session.
that doesn't have to be 3-hole punched, it can be just normal stuff.
Well, good, I'll bring the punch and I'll loan it to you individually, you can take it home, let your children
I thought you did it by
or
drills.
grandchildren.
You don't do it with a, oh.
It is a drill. The drill is here, punch holes.
Chuck, did this come out, is this for the site plan regulation? Is this in this, what is this, where is this from?
This was when we adopted the vesting that is not
You're in the right place.
in the right place.
That's,
This was the only discussion we ever had before we adopted that. In other words, I went through the minutes of that when we were discussing. So this is in November, whatever it is. That was the last discussion. It was decided to adopt that vesting article, which
and is now in the is in the zoning.
it's in the zoning, but I mean, you'd have to,
And it got changed in zoning, because if you read this, you're talking about 20% of a development or
This is talking about site plan, it's not talking about subdivisions.
one completed house.
3.11.2 is talking about site plans. That's what confused me. And then,
Well, would you do a development with a site plan or with a subdivision plan?
depends what kind of development you're doing. You doing a multifamily building, or you doing a, if you're doing a three-family building, it's a site
If you
plan.
use this standard, instead of the standard in zoning, if you use this standard, the guy had finishes his house and he's got a CO. But he's never built a road.
no.
Three eleven two says.
All off-site improvements have been determined.
311.2 says substantial completion of the development shall be deemed to have occurred when a certificate of occupancy for all buildings.
Shown on the site plan. Site plan is commercial or three families or more.
Which we have none.
Right.
Where are you folks getting 311.2?
The Chuck handout.
No, but is that from,
Oh, that may be an incorrect number, but in other words,
It is an incorrect number.
huh?
But
And it was discussed at the same time you discussed wireless
312.
telecommunications
Yes,
and
it's
cell
312.
towers.
yeah.
And maybe this is part of the cell tower regulation.
No. We need the page before this, I think, Chuck.
You do?
I think so.
All right. I'll see if I can find it. Well, I should be able to find it.
Should be easy to find out. You get the date of this
I
one.
think I got this right here. Huh? Yeah, it's just the page before. They have all these. This just came out of the minutes. And what's the page before gonna tell us, you're hoping?
Well, at least tell us what we're talking about.
Oh, boy, there was,
My notes on 312 in the zoning ordinance says Drescher belongs in subdivision.
Yes.
Removed from zoning ordinance. Did we remove it from the zoning
No.
ordinance?
No.
At the very least, we can put it into the CO.
Well, I didn't want to take it out of zoning, because then it wouldn't be anywhere.
Right.
At least right now, it looks like we have something.
So we'll take it out of this once we have it in.
Right.
Okay.
I tell you, I read through minutes and minutes and minutes, and there was so little discussion on this that it would stun you. But I'll go back and get that page one. Because there was only one more meeting where they discussed, these were the articles that were put up for vote. And this didn't come up again. And then it was voted in. And then
And then this got typed in.
and that got typed in. I mean, they're almost,
So what is the,
Well, it was amended in 2010.
this says,
oh, is that what it was?
Added in 08.
Yeah,
Amended,
wait, yeah.
amended in 2010.
Okay.
but this is not the same language that's
No,
in
that's
here.
what I just noticed. It says amended 3910.
Right.
Added in 08, which would be this.
Okay.
Why don't you get a meeting with Mr. Drescher and the zoning board chairman, yourself, and Neil and I?
Okay. I talked to Naomi about that this morning. And she suggested that we wait until
March
after-
16th.
Yeah.
We'll have to vote.
after the vote.
No, we wait till
For
after the vote.
several reasons, most of which have to do with availability. Drescher, I'm sure, is representing numerous towns. And I can't really even get a hold of him now.
I would think between now and March 15th, he wouldn't be that busy.
I mean, he's done all the reviewing that he
Right.
needs to do. Yeah, that could be.
Actually, he's always
Well,
busy.
he still tries cases.
Yeah, he's so busy. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So, you need to read the book.
Yep.
I need to read the book.
Well, I need
We-
to read the new version that Chip's gonna send out.
Are you going to send that to us, Chip?
No, I'm going to hand it to you
Can you,
When?
on the 25th.
can you email it to me?
You're talking about the one that I sent you by email?
Yeah, that's already an email format if you want it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll come in and get my copy.
Yeah, cause.
Save paper.
25th of what month?
This month.
Oh,
This
this,
month.
okay. As you say, March I won't be here, so I just don't wanna make sure.
You'll be here for
Oh,
the
that's when,
25th.
yeah, we're not gonna discuss it on the 25th. Nobody's gonna
No.
be here,
No.
right?
Right.
Right.
You're not even gonna be here.
No, I will just have it ready by the 25th.
I'll stop by and get mine sometime.
So who runs it? Who's the official on
Who's not gonna be here?
You, Frank, and
us three?
It'll
Me
be,
three.
You had better,
Bruce
no,
Fillmore will have to come or there'll be no meeting.
Yeah.
Bruce and Ricky will have to appoint John on the
I
25th.
would think that would make Rick the chairman, since he's the ex officio. He's the only one with a title left.
I don't know if he can be chairman.
No, I don't think, yeah, it's true. I don't think you can.
What'd you do,
So,
appoint
Bruce
one?
will be it.
so Bruce will be it. Bruce and Ricky will appoint.
I hereby
Bruce will
appoint Bruce as
John
the
a
acting
member,
chair
and
for
you'll have
1 week.
three.
If none of us show up, I appoint Bruce as the acting chair. Since he's not here.
Do you want that in a minute?
Yeah, please.
So for the meeting of the
Got you.
24th, Bruce is
Got it.
appointed as the acting
It's
chair.
assuming us three aren't here.
got it.
Put those in bold, italics, and send it to Bruce.
Make sure I read it.
Yeah.
And a little note is, this is why you have to show up.
Anything else?
No.
Is that a motion, Rick?
It is a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.